Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about how to become an undercover spy.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin and I post videos every Monday morning to start your week off with some encouragement and share the lessons I've learned from the Coast Guard and from being a Christian. So today I'm joined by my wonderful friend Elizabeth, who you have seen in my videos before. Liz and I have been friends for literally the entirety of our cadet careers. We were roommates the first week of SWAB summer, and she was the first Christian that I met at the academy and someone who really encouraged me to dive deeper into my faith. So today I wanted to bring her on because we are talking about the importance of community, especially for those of you who are around the same age as us, whether you're in college or in high school getting ready to leave home for the first time, or for you military folk out there who have to move all the time. This video is crucially important for you. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention that we are going to be speaking from mostly a Christian perspective, but we think that these ideas are really important for anybody, whether you are a believer or not. So like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Let's get right into it. So we're gonna dive right in and first just talk about our experience, why community, specifically godly community, has been so important to us.
For me, I think godly community has been really important to me because my three best friends back at home that I still talk to are all Christians, and I think that's kind of what binds us together. So every time I go home, we always get together and it's like time never even passed. So I'm extremely thankful for that because I don't come home very often. When I do, I know I have great friends waiting there, and that's kind of transferred to the academy. I just have met a lot of awesome people that are Christians that I've kept in contact with because there's just like that same belief that you can always fall back on something you always have in common with. And so I think that's why it's really good. You're besties for the resties.
Besties for the resties. One thing that was super eye-opening for me coming to the academy was, again, just how the relationships that I have with people who have faith in common, they're the ones, like Liz said, that are lasting and that are built on something that isn't circumstantial. At the academy, as a freshman, you're only technically allowed to be friends with other freshmen, and so any other relationships that you have to be built around either the sports team that you're on or the club that you're involved with. And for me, a lot of my friendships with upperclassmen were through OCF, Officers Christian Fellowship, my Christian community, and through the fact that I was forced to build my relationships on the foundation of Christ, those relationships to me are some of the strongest ones I have because they're not necessarily about like just the activity that I'm doing or anything like that. They're based on something that is going to last in eternity. One piece of advice that I heard recently was that in friendships, you should be focused on calling your friends up, not calling your friends out.
There's a verse I really like. It says, "Let us consider how we may spur one another towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together." And I think things are hard at the academy sometimes, especially as a fourth class. So just having the brothers and sisters that you have like through OCF, especially the upper class who have been through it before, when they encourage you, it's from more of an eternal perspective. And in this life, the Bible says that we're going to have suffering, so kind of using that to encourage you, and like this life is tough, but we have God and take heart because He's overcome the world. So just like receiving that kind of feedback that's eternal and points us to Christ, I think is really important when you're going through a hard time.
Whether or not you're going to the Coast Guard Academy, going to a different college, going through life, like Liz said, it's going to be hard, and if you try to go through it all by yourself, you're not going to get very far. Whether you're a Christian or not, I encourage you, if you're in a new place and you're struggling to make new friends, I would encourage you to go to church and just try it, even like I said, if you're not a Christian, because they're going to welcome you with open arms. But during our time here in DC, I've been to 4 different churches, and at every single one, I've been welcomed, invited to lunch afterwards, any of those sorts of avenues. Like, they're so welcoming and so awesome, and they just want to pour into people and love others like Christ loves us. And so if you're really struggling, like, please, like, start there. Liz, how do you make friends?
How do you make friends? Well, I think part of it is just being yourself. I think that's really important. I think authenticity is really important. So if you're yourself around somebody, you really can't go wrong. And I think you also make friends by not going into a friendship asking the question, what can I get out of this person, but like, what can I give to this person, how can I love this person? And I think that kind of takes you from a place of like selfishness to unselfishness, and I think that allows you to be able to be friends with other people. And also, if you're a Christian, you're pursuing God wholeheartedly, you're going to grow your fruits of the Spirit, so like love, joy, peace, and patience, and all that. I think people tend to gravitate toward those qualities because they're admirable qualities. So really growing in the fruits and pursuing Jesus, I think, can really grow you closer to people, and just being friends with people to bless them, you really can't go wrong.
When you're trying to make friends, sometimes it's going to take a little bit of vulnerability and stepping out of your comfort zone. Liz and I have very different personalities. I'm more reserved and she's kind of
Wild.
And so it's going to take, for me especially, like being willing to put myself out there and be vulnerable. And if you really want to make those deep friendships, at some point you're going to have to share things that you like might be reserved to share in order for them to help build you up, like the Bible like talks about so much. Don't go like the first day telling them all your biggest problems and your deepest
Be
secrets.
overwhelmed.
Yes, building friendships does take time, and you have to be willing, like Liz said, to make it more about investing in them than what you're going to get out of it. Because like simply asking questions about a person and like showing that you're truly interested and that you truly care about what they have to say and what they're interested in and what they do, like that's really like what's going to build you the most solid friendships. So now we're going to talk about like choosing your friends and picking wisely who you want to be around.
One thing that's always stuck with me is you are your 5 closest friends. And so when I think about that, I gravitate toward people who I want to be like, or qualities that I admire in other people. And so when you're searching for friends, like if you want to be more loving, or you want to be more joyful, or you want to be more wise, or maybe more gentle, I don't know, you should gravitate towards people who have that quality. And all those qualities are like Jesus, so honestly striving to be Jesus.
The Bible says that bad company corrupts good character, and so if you're spending all of your time with people who are partying and drinking and doing things that you don't necessarily want to be doing, or if they are encouraging gossip or saying bad things about people or not focused on the same things that you want to be focused on, like eventually you are going to be influenced by that, at least in a small capacity. You can definitely have people outside of your core group that you are pouring into as well, but having that core group that you can go to, that you have things in common, your character goals align, and the way that you're striving to be as a person align, like that's what's going to build you up the most and give you the most support as you go throughout your life. That being said, ultimately the church is not perfect, people in the church are not perfect, and your friends are not going to be perfect. And so along with that, you have to have Jesus as your ultimate example, because your friends, again, are gonna let you down. They're gonna be imperfect at times. And so if you have your initial and first hope in the Lord, then it's going to sustain you through those times when they are struggling. And it's also going to give you the ability to be around people and pour into others that aren't maybe the same as you or have the same goals as you, because you still have that ultimate example as your solid rock. Do you feel like you can have too many friends?
Wish I could say no, but kind of. I don't think so. I don't think you can have like too many friends, but I know sometimes I'll feel really, really overwhelmed when a ton of people want to do something, and I'm just like, sometimes it's just like, oh, I need a break. So definitely like setting boundaries in your friendships and taking a break to like spend time with God and have quiet time by yourself, because I think if you fill yourself up with God, you'll be able to pour out better to others. So not stretching yourself too thin by, you don't have to be best friends with everybody, but you are supposed to love everybody.
How do you prioritize it, and what boundaries do you have?
Well, I'm not very good at boundaries, but I would say normally I just go with the person who asks me first, because I'm like I don't think it's very respectful to back out of something that you already said you were going to do. So if someone asked me to do something before, and then like my best friend ever wants to hang out, I'll be like, hey, I have this prior obligation. Like, it's kind of how I do it. In my weekends, I try to have like a couple hours set aside for like me, whether that's like working out or like
Homework.
Yeah, exactly. Mostly just homework, or maybe going on a walk or something, because I think we all need time to ourselves and with God as well.
Also, like, ultimately you can go back to that idea of seeking to serve others. So again, with friendships, it's not necessarily about what you're getting out of it, but what you're pouring out and like putting into others. But you also have to balance that with, like, I'm gonna be best able to pour out to others when I'm spending time alone with God too, and when I'm spending time with that core group of friends who's building me up. That's when I'll be better prepared to go out and hang out with people who may not share the same goals as I do. All right, so being in the Coast Guard, we kind of do a lot of things with a lot of different people in a lot of different places. And so we have been super, super blessed, especially I've kind of realized it this 5 weeks that we've had in DC, how many people, especially Christians and especially like Coast Guard members that we know who have poured into us so wholeheartedly, whether that be serving us meals or inviting us to church or any of those things. And it's gotten us through the summer and, well, this part of the summer. And back at the academy, the people that we have pouring into us there, mentoring us, that's what has helped me grow the most. And so we just wanted to really, really encourage you to make it a priority to grow your community and to focus on pouring into others. And again, from learning how to love like Jesus and seeking to serve others above what you can get out of it for yourself. And we have so many people who have just been pouring into us. Not only were we with an awesome group of people in DC, but we got to go to a few classmates' houses and they poured into us, and we got to see friends and family around the area that we were in, and we had some other Coast Guard Academy friends come and visit us and check in because we have friendships that'll last a lifetime. And now I'm here with my sister in the Pacific Northwest. I'm here on a patrol boat for the rest of the summer, so you will see all my adventures here, and maybe you'll see a video with this weirdo. So help me get to 1,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button and like this video, and we'll see you next time. Peace!
Are we on?
And
I wasn't ready.
the Northwest, so.
No, why did I do?